What's going on, guys? Today we're going to have something cool for you. The new Vortex Razor AMG 1 to 10. First things first. Guns clear. Definitely a YouTube compliant magazine with a Pylon Syndicate magazine extension +5. If you don't know about this company, you should go and check him out. This Pylon Syndicate guy. He's super cool. I've talked to him quite a bit on the phone. And these things look rad, especially on a Gen 3 PMag. Looks super cool. So I have this scope on my HKMR 556 A4 11-inch gun. I put it on here because this is the gun that I carry around every day. I like the center dot on this reticle. That's probably my favorite thing about it. You'll notice that the reticle in the center is like translucent. It's like you can't, it's not like the Nightforce ATAC R that I've had. I have the most rounds through that. The Nightforce reticle is pure black. This, you can see through it. It's kind of unique. I haven't had a scope like this before. Maybe more scopes have been like that, but this is my first one. Most of my LPVO experience is through the Nightforce ATAC R 1 to 8, so that's what I'm going to be comparing this to. I paid for this with my own money. I didn't get any handouts with this. So it was kind of a big pill to swallow. This is expensive. People say it's a $6,000 scope. I mean, kind of. The MSRP of it is, I think, $64. The MAP price, which is minimum advertised pricing to like protect Vortex dealers, they should be selling it for $39.99, I believe. Minimum pricing is the lowest they should be advertising it at. So putting that into perspective, I know the ATAC R is a little bit less than that, but knowing what I know, I think this is a better scope. I probably only have 400, 600 rounds through this, but as long as it's as durable as the Nightforce ATAC R, which time will tell, but from all of the research that I've been doing, this should be a durable scope. If it's as durable as the Nightforce, I would rather have this scope. Starting from the back, the diopter, when I first got this scope, it was a little hard to set the diopter. In the manual, it comes in this cool box, by the way, a challenge coin and like handwritten. I think they're the people that either worked on the LMR project or helped engineer the scope. I don't know exactly what they did, but they hand signed it, which I think is cool. I digress. The diopter was a little bit tricky because in the manual it says that you should set the diopter at 1x. When I set the diopter at 1x, I would notice that the edges would get a little blurry. And that bugged me, especially for the price of the scope. I called Vortex customer service. The guy I talked to was super nice. He mentioned maybe trying it on a higher power. So I cranked it up to 10. Looked up at the sky. That's what I do. You can do like a sky or a white wall, something that's far away, and then set the diopter. Once I did that, it's been great. My last couple of rain trips, I have been fine tuning it, but I'm just like barely moving it. And now I got it set exactly where I like it. When I pull it up on 1 power, I get a nice sight picture. The really cool thing about this, it doesn't fisheye. The picture is very flat. And Vortex is really good at making their scopes. I don't know what voodoo magic they do, but everything is very thin. So as you look through this, you only have the sight picture, and like through my dominant eye, I cannot see the illumination dial. I can't see the elevation or the windage turret. When I had my Nightforce ATAC R, you could see that stuff. And not that it bugged me, but this just makes the image seem a little more true in real life. So as you're scanning, it looks like you just have a reticle floating in your field of view, which I think is really cool. The other cool thing about this scope, moving forward from the rear, is the magnification ring. So don't quote me, but I believe it's 120 degrees of throw. You have this little shark fin. It's not like a big, like Nightforce has those knobs that you can crank the whole objective with. It's not like that, but it does feel quite nice. It's rounded. It's about perfect. I have small hands, small thumbs. It's perfect to just crank it over. If you look at the spacing, I highly doubt you guys will be able to see it, but the spacing between 1 and 2 is the greatest. And then 2 and 3, it gets a little shorter. And then 3 and 4, it's very short. It's right there. There's 4. There's 6. And then the only next number that's listed is 10. So we're on 6 now. If you watch me push this over, that's 10 power. So it's a very, very short throw. If you're using this for military or police, I think that that's nice. So you're not having, like if you have to take a quick shot that you would appreciate some magnification, you could just bump that over and get it to a very usable power. My favorite is about 6 on this. When I'm doing like prone shooting, I'll crank it up to 10. I really like how generous the Eyebox is on this. When I was looking at when this first came out as part of the Eleanor project, I'm a big clone rifle guy. People were saying a lot of poor things about it as far as the Eyebox. They said it's really tight, and that has not been my experience at all. I believe this Eyebox is significantly better than the Eyebox on the Nightforce ATAC R. If you notice, I have the scope mounted in this area 419 mount. As far forward as I can go. This section here, it would be butt up against the handguard. I don't like that. So it's as far forward as you can go. I also run my butt stock in all the way. A lot of times when I shoot this, I have armor on. So I like to be completely squared up to my target. I'm not the guy that runs his butt stock all the way out. Again, the Eyebox is really good. The sight picture is amazing. One thing that's different is the reticle is translucent. I haven't had a reticle that you can like see through. So it's in MRAD. It has, I don't know the value of it, but the center dot is very fine. And then around it, it's got quadrants, and you can see your target through the quadrants. You can't see it if you turn on a low illumination though. I think that that's a pretty neat feature. I don't know why they do it like that, but I kind of like it. I don't know that it really benefits you a whole lot, but it is nice to be able to spot your shot if you're aiming at the center dot and you were to miss through your reticle, if that makes sense. So if you were to miss your center dot and it were to go where your reticle was, if you had like the ATAC R or another traditional reticle scope, you wouldn't see it. You would have to look for it. With this, you could see it. The turrets are very low. One thing that's unique about these turrets is they're dual 0. So I have not tested the tracking on this, but I've seen people that have, and this scope definitely tracks true. They're like sandwiched together. So if you had this on like a blackout or something, you could have it set for supers and subs. I think I might try a 77 grain and then my duty load. I think that would be kind of fun for when I bring this thing out to distance. But you just would undo this center jam nut, and then this top one comes off, and then the bottom one comes off, and you can have one set for whatever you want. The clicks, I'm not really a big scope snob, but the clicks are kind of mushy. They remind me of like my Leupold Mark IVs. I guess I don't really care. I don't use them a whole lot, but if you're a big click guy, that might get you. The illumination, I like the illumination on this because it locks. So when I have it like patrol ready, I keep it in the off position in between normally 7 and 8, which is pretty bright. It goes up quite a ways. It goes up to, let's see, 11. 11 is nuclear. When I'm just shooting in the day, I leave it on 8. For like low light stuff, I like 6. If I wasn't going to use any ambient light, 6 looks pretty good. Let's see, 5. 5 is still pretty good. 4. I would probably use 5 if I was going to deploy a rifle in a house like this and not use my weapon mounted light. It's very bright. It's about as bright as I keep my aim points. I really like that. And then you just push it in to lock it, and now it can't turn. If you're going to turn the illumination on, you pull it out and put it to whatever setting you want. I can't really say enough good things about this scope. Like I said, I don't have that many rounds through it. You know, in between 400 to 600 probably, but so far it's been great. I think it weighs about 18 ounces, which on this gun I did have a Wilcox riser, an XPS2, and a G33, and irons. I had plugged it into a calculator how much all that stuff weighed, and I believe this system is about the same. When I had the magnifier on it, normally I keep the magnifier on my vest so I can look, but I just ditched that for now. I can't run backup irons on this because the scope is mounted with Torx. I suppose I could keep a Torx if the scope were to go down, but my secondary sighting system is just this RMR. You can passive aim through nods. It's pretty cool. Other than that, this is just going to be a quick little like first impressions type video. I really like the scope. If you have the money and can swing it, and an LPVO is something that you're interested in, I don't think you can go wrong with this. I would have no qualms telling you that I believe that this is the best LPVO on the market right now, in my experience. My experience ranges in the Gen 2 Vortex Razor 1-6, wasn't really a big fan. The Gen 2 E 1-6, I believe that is. The most experience that I have is, again, the Night Force ATAC R 1-8, which is bomb proof. But I think this beats it in many categories. Eyebox, field of view. Like when you pull the rifle up, the picture seems a lot more crisp to me. And hopefully it's just as durable. I don't know. Again, a lot of stuff went into making this scope, and if you listen to like the Vortex podcast, they're talking about how they are measuring the internal dimensions in like 5 microns, which they're saying is half of a red blood cell. All that shit's pretty nuts to me. So if this is something that you're interested in, I think it would be a good idea to pick one up. Again, I paid my own money for this. I didn't get this for a review or anything. I would like to get a couple more rounds through this, and then obviously with time it'll get beat up pretty good, and then I can come back and tell you guys how it works in the long term. But for now, that's probably going to be all I have to say on this AMG 1-10x24. If you have any questions, you can drop a comment and I'll try to get to it as they come. All right, guys, take care.